So many people move to Florida, and when they do, they want like a fresh start. They're usually coming from up north and they're thinking, okay, I want a completely new style for my new home. I'm not going to have the same style that I had up north. Here I am in Florida. I want things bright, new, modern, clean, and a great new style for myself. So that's generally what's sort of at the heart of buyers when they're looking for a new home. Now, many of the homes here in Longboat Key are sold furnished, and sometimes that's a really great thing, and other times it's just not. So I have to kind of tell it like it is. So if you're thinking about selling your home and you're thinking, listen, I'm downsizing, I really don't want any of my furniture, I want a brand new fresh start, I'm going to just sell it furnished and I'm going to make more money. So that could be a really good thought if in fact your furniture really adds value to the home that you're trying to sell. And some of the questions you might want to ask yourself is, how old is my furniture? How old is my decor? Have I had it for 10, 15, 20, 30 years? That may not be a really good thing and it may not add value. In fact, it may really detract from the value of your home and you may end up getting less money if you try to sell it furnished when it's really dated furniture. The other question you might want to ask yourself if you're a seller is, what is the hassle factor in getting rid of the furniture, right? I'm moving back up north because I want to be with my kids and I'm pulling out of Florida altogether and I really don't want to deal with donating or selling my furniture. What are my choices? Well, I will tell you, I have had many, many clients in this exact same circumstance, and we've handled it really in a multiple, number of ways. First of all, I have terrific connections to set up for furniture donations and also for the things that are maybe not appropriate to donate. I have a great junk guy who can get rid of things that maybe really don't have value to anyone anymore. But I would say the most important thing, if you're thinking about selling, furnished or unfurnished, is to really look at your home through realistic eyes of the buyer. And you may be a buyer yourself. You may be looking at a new home in a different location in Florida, or maybe, like I said, you're moving back up north and you're looking to buy a new property. So you want to use those eyes of the buyer to determine what is really going to add value. So this is a specialty of mine. I have a certification in home staging. I always use my clients' furnishings in order to stage unless they're really not usable, in which case we're just going to empty the place and show it vacant because in that case it may show better. So a lot of decisions to make. Some things are worth keeping, of course, because I will tell you that some people come down here and they're not exactly sure what they're going to do with their new home. So they want, a bed, they want a sofa to sit on, they're going to be here maybe interviewing interior designers and they need temporary furnishings. So in some cases, it's just fantastic to leave the furnishings that you have. Another question you can ask yourself if you're selling, do I want to sell furnished or not, is, does the furniture give you enough space to walk around the property in a way that makes it feel spacious? So many times people buy a big, beautiful sectional sofa, say, for example, for their living room where everybody hangs out and watches television, and it's a great seating area. But sometimes a sectional, particularly in a condo, is really just too big for the space. And if it is, that is going to make your unit feel smaller. And then the buyer is going to say, oh, this really doesn't feel like it's the size that I want, even if it's the square footage that they want. And in that case, that's going to mean you're going to have to lower your price because too small means too expensive for what I, as the buyer, perceive that it's going to be. So, as you can see, there are so many questions to ask yourself when you're deciding whether you want to sell furnished or not. As your real estate advisor and your local Longboat Key realtor, I do this every day for a living. So I am really happy to share with you what works and what doesn't work, and then help connect you with the right vendors that you may need in order to get your, condo or your single family home in the perfect condition, ready to sell for the highest possible price. My name is Judy Mitchell. I live and work right here in Longboat Key. I am a realtor with Premier Sotheby's. My office is right next to Publix in Longboat Key. You can reach me anytime. Just give me a call at 941 275 6838. Thanks.